slash at all. Some would say I'm the reverse.
Some would say I'm the reverse, and welcome to my review for Batwoman Season 1, Episode 19, titled A Secret Kept from the Rest. From all the rest, excuse me. So we have another episode revolving around this Lucius Fox journal, which I think is a decent plot line. It kind of came out of nowhere pretty late in the season, so I don't really like that, but it's decent. Uh, and it served for some good episodes, not because of the storyline, just different things. I don't really know how to explain it, but this episode was pretty good. We got to see some Hush for the first time in this series, which is awesome. And the episode starts off actually with him in a library shooting a bunch of people with a silencer on his pistols and stuff. And he kills a bunch of people, and then he eventually takes this guy hostage. Turns out this guy's like a code breaker or something. If you remember last week, Alice and Mouse and Hush, they got Lucius's journal, um, but it was in code. So they were trying to kidnap some code breakers to break this code to read the journal. And Alice kept killing them. I believe it twice. There was two people that got killed throughout the episode, and the third person they kidnapped was Luke. Obviously, he didn't die. But we got multiple plot lines this week. We have obviously the journal plot line with Luke and Julia, and obviously Kate and Batwoman and Alice and Hush and Mouse and everybody. We also have some conflict between the villains team, and we also have some conflict between Batwoman and Julia and Luke, and yeah, and also between the Crows and Batwoman. So multiple different storylines going on. Borderline messy for the past few weeks, since these episodes have had quite a few storylines each week, but I think it handles it pretty well. It's hard to review these episodes, but it isn't hard to follow the storylines. It's just hard to talk about everything in these reviews, since there is just so much going on the show currently. So yeah, so like I said, the whole episode revolves around the journal. Hush and Alice and Mouse, they kidnap multiple people, and they keep disappointing them. So Alice kills them all, and eventually they just agree to go with Alice's plan, which is to kidnap Luke, which they originally didn't want to do because Mouse and Hush said it would attract the bat and kind of blow their cover within Arkham. So yeah, but now they decided to do just that. They decided to use Luke to try to figure out what the journal said. So, yeah, they kidnap Luke um, later in the episode. Um, what happened next? I believe. Um, oh, yeah, the third person, before Luke, the third person they tried to kidnap was Parker Torres. Obviously, because her and Alice and Batwoman have some history from, I want to say, episode 10. Yeah, it was episode 20. It was episode 10, excuse me. So, yeah, Alice wanted to get Parker Torres. Hush kidnapped her, but then Parker's girlfriend, who she was FaceTiming with at the time of her kidnapping, called Kate, and Kate saved her by using these grappling hooks to hold Hush's van back. Then she hit him with a batarang, and then yeah, he got away, but she saved Parker. And then Parker joined the Bat team temporarily for this episode. So yeah, that wasn't something I was too fond of. I wasn't a huge fan of Parker's character in her episode from before, but she was really annoying in this episode, in my opinion. I don't know why. She was really annoying to me, along with Mary, just not like just being annoyed that Parker knew that Kate was Batwoman. I don't know. That just annoyed me. I think Mary, she's being way too jealous for no reason, and it was just annoying. But yeah, after they saved Parker, Luke, Luke talked to Julia, and remember from last week, Julia was trying to get the journal for somebody she's working for. And it is revealed later in this episode who she's working for, but Luke is trying to ask her who she's working for. Why does she want this journal? She says if she told him, they'd both be dead. But yeah. Luke tries to call Kate, but it's actually Mouse who is impersonating Kate. Um, I think he calls Luke. And then Hush shows up and takes them both captive to try and use Luke to read the journal. So they're torturing Julia with the electric chair, while Luke is trying to read the journal. He's trying to decipher Lucius's code, and really he's the only one who can decipher it because it is a personal code to Lucius. The interval he uses multiple languages, and the interval in which he changes languages is Lucius's social security number. So it's very personal to him. So only Luke can do it. And Luke was having doubts not only this episode, but mainly this episode that he doesn't hold up really to Lucius, and that Lucius is smarter than he will ever be and stuff. And then he's the one that cracks Lucius's code. So yeah. Um, and then Batwoman shows up. They track the first guy that Hush and Alice the first guy that they kidnap at the very beginning of the episode, he wears a pacemaker. So Kate and Parker and Mary they track this pacemaker to where it stopped, where this guy died. I think his name was like John Carr or something. It doesn't matter. Um, he's the guy that you're seeing on screen right now. They track his pacemaker to its last like active location, and that brings her to Arkham. And she goes and confronts them. Turns out there's these glasses that Mary found um, that lets the wearer read the code, read the journal. I'm guessing it's maybe invisible ink or something. It looked like it was tech though. So um but yeah, she exchanges the glasses to Alice. She gives them to Alice in exchange for Luke and Julia, in which obviously they give uh, Luke and Julia back to Batwoman, and yeah, there's a little bit of a riot. You know, they let everyone out of Arkham, out of their cells, and Jacob thinks that it's Batwoman. That he doesn't think directly that she's the one that let them out, obviously, but obviously what he thinks is that she's the one causing a lot of damage as well. You know, and civilians are being put in harm's way because of what she is trying to do. So obviously he's not on board with what she's doing, which is kind of ironic since it is his daughter, and he's about to go to war with her. So yeah. Um. But yeah. They let Alice lets everybody out. Her and Mouse are forced to leave Arkham. So they go into the sewers, and they're at the end of the episode. They're hiding in the sewers while she's reading this journal. And they do have plans to double cross Tommy. They still have plans to use Tommy to find these weapons that are in the journal, because the journal was revealed. It wasn't just Wayne Tech and Lucius's biggest secrets. It was it was how to kill the Bat, which I mean it's about Batman, but in turn it's about Batwoman as well. So yeah, so she wants Alice and Mouse are planning to use Tommy to find these weapons to kill Batwoman, but after that, they are going to dispose of it. So, yeah, that's basically what with that storyline. So Alice and Hutch have the have the journal, they have the means to read it, they just don't have the means to use it to their advantage just yet. Um, and now Jacob Kane is going to war with Batwoman, who inevitably is Kate. I wonder how long it'll take for Jacob to find out that Kate is Batwoman. And when that happens, I'm wondering one of two things could happen right now. One, Jacob could stop this war on Batwoman. He could forgive Batwoman because it is Kate, and he realizes maybe she's not as bad as um, I believe, and maybe she has good intentions, or a sort of so there's a little bit of a rivalry between Jacob and his daughter. They drift apart and they become enemies, similar to how Captain Lance and Laurel sort of did it, or were like in Arrow season 3, I believe. I think that was when Lance found out Laurel was uh, when he found out that she was Black Canary. I'm not sure, but very similar to situation here, just with different characters on a different show and stuff. So yeah, it looks like from promo for next week, which is the finale, it seems we are going to be getting a lot of Crows versus Batwoman, which I am excited for, since I think it could be cool to see. Um, what else do we have this episode? Oh yeah, Julia. Obviously, last episode it was revealed she's working for somebody. She's not. She, her intentions were not out there on the table. Not everybody knew what she was trying to do, and well, now it's out on the table. She is working with, or she was working with Sophia Sohail, who's a character from the comics. I did a little bit of research. I couldn't really find anything about her, but it seems they're setting her up to maybe be the season 2 villain. It looks like. So, if you don't remember who Sophia was, she was mentioned briefly in episode 7, where she was the one who hired the rifle and stuff. And Alice mentioned her, and I'm guessing she was the one that murdered the Wonderland gang. And now it turns out she's the one that Julie was working for. So Julie was in episode 7. She thwarted the rifle's plans, and she went to Sophia, and she in exchange for, I believe it was in exchange for Batwoman's life, she um, she decided she was going to give Sophia the journal. But she didn't know that the journal was about killing Batwoman, so it turns out Julie isn't going to be working for Sophia anymore. There's going to be a target on her back as well, so that might factor into season 2 if that's what they're setting up. So, yeah. There was also a little bit of Julia, Sophie, and Kate romance, sort of a love triangle. Not a fan. Not a fan of that drama. Um, it's Julia is Kate's ex, Sophie is Kate's ex. Now Sophie and Julia are together. It's just a really messy situation, and it's annoying. I think so. Yeah. Is there anything else really to say? I think Luke definitely shined in this episode. Not as much as maybe I believe it was last episode. No, episode 17. I believe it was. Yeah, he was really good in episode 17. What was last week? I can't remember what last week was, but yeah, another great episode for Luke. A great episode for Hush, who I don't think was great. I think he was a good villain, but I don't think it's a good adaptation of Hush. Hush isn't very. He doesn't have that short of a temper in in the media. He is in. He was very angry and sort of unstable in this episode, which I didn't really like. He's sort of more of a cool, calculating character more often than not, and I really wish we could get a villain like that in Batwoman, since Alice, who who kind of was like that at the beginning. She's more sadistic now at this point, and I just really wish we could get like some sort of cool, calculating, calm villain. I think that'd be really good for the show, and I think Hush could be a good fit for that. But it seems this version of Hush isn't like that, which kind of sucks. Um, and Hush design, it's very controversial on Twitter and stuff. It's been getting a lot of hate. I have mixed feelings about it. See, I think the design itself could use a little bit of work. You know, I like the trench coat design. I don't like the Arkham um, outfit underneath it. I think it looks really bad. And the mask or the toilet paper looking stuff around his the gauze around his face. It I think it looks good. It's just that the mouth area is way too long. I think if it was shortened up a lot, if it was thinner, and it wasn't as wide, it didn't spread as far across his face, it would look better. But yeah, I just don't like that. But overall, I think his design is decent, and I think it could evolve into something really cool. If they shorten up that mouth, if they make it a little less wide, maybe if they make his head a little smaller, with the gauze, it looks really comical and bad, honestly. And then if they get rid of that Arkham sort of uniform under underneath his trench coat, I think the design could be really cool looking. But right now, it's just sort of a prototype, and it looks decent as a prototype. But I don't want to see that hanging around anytime soon. If if we are going to be continuing to see Hush, I'm pretty sure he's in next week's episode in the season finale. Which put in the comments if you know. I'm not sure if next week's season finale was originally planned to be the season finale, or like Flash or Supergirl, the season got shortened. I'm really curious. So yeah, tell me in the comments what that situation's about, because I'm not necessarily sure whether or not this was their planned finale. Because honestly, this episode, it did feel like a penultimate episode, but I'm not sure if it was supposed to be originally. So yeah, tell me in the comments if if that was planned to be the penultimate episode. But yeah, I really like this episode. I'm probably gonna give it maybe an 8.7 out of 10, somewhere around there. I thought it was good. Um, I thought it juggled the multiple storylines that sort of intertwine with each other decently well, and I am excited for who this Sophia Sahale character is. Uh, yeah, that's basically it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for my Supergirl review. I still haven't watched the episode, so it might come out tomorrow if I don't have enough time to watch it and then record my review for it. Tomorrow, by the way, from when I'm recording this, would be Tuesday. Um, so yeah. But then we have the Flash finale next or tomorrow, and also another episode of Legends. My Arrow 18th episodes ranked video. I really haven't gotten around to do that. I'll try to get it out tonight if I can. If I can't, it will come out tomorrow maybe. So yeah, it is a little bit late, but it is what it is. It will be out. Any of you guys that enjoy watching those videos. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See ya.